Woo! Look, we're in need of a clear out. Players have mentally checked out. United fans in hiding. Location unknown whereabouts. Cause Arsenal got that victory. It's another big win they can sing about. Cause our fullbacks got that run around. And Bruno didn't even run around. He was less effective when he stood his ground. Some say he needs more discipline. It was another big game he was missing in. I heard Luke Shaw's out for the rest of the season. Sorry, but nobody's missing him. And Pogba finally said that he's leaving. Sorry, but that's only news to him. Woo! We're in need of a clear out. Players have mentally checked out. United fans in hiding. Location unknown whereabouts. Cause Arsenal got that victory. It's another big win they can sing about. Cause our fullbacks got that run around. And Bruno didn't even run around. He was less effective when he stood his ground. Some say he needs more discipline. It was another big game he was missing in. I heard Luke Shaw's out for the rest of the season. Sorry, but nobody's missing in. And Pogba finally said that he's leaving. Sorry, but that's only news to him. Woo! We need guys in a team that's here to win. Yo, this is the OT99 Banter room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. I'm joined today by NK and Edwin, and today we are going to talk about the Manchester United big defeat against Arsenal. Look, many people said this is a must-win for Manchester United if we had any hopes of qualifying for Champions League. Look, Arsenal got two massive victories today. You could say that's 2 6-pointers against Chelsea, against Manchester United, and you know what? They've put themselves in good stead to finish top 4. It's definitely looking like it's going to be a 2-horse race for that 4th spot between Tottenham and Arsenal. Look, Manchester United, all we can do now is try to remain in top 6. You know, we can only try to hope and pray that we get some Europa League football, you know, but right about now, it hurts because top 4 for me wasn't really a thing. It wasn't really a thing, Edwin, NK. It wasn't like I was thinking, you know what, I had that back in my mind, but today was more about do not lose against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like I would prefer to lose against Norwich than lose against Arsenal today, because we know in our age group, right, the banter that we get, the rivalry is unique with Arsenal fans. And right now, fam, I see a lot of them in the pitch, bro, all over Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing flipping Robbie, the Arsenal fan TV guy, and all of the fans hitting Suze, taking the piss. I didn't even know they would do that after hearing the news about Ronaldo and his shoot. You get me? The man are hitting Suze, bro. You get me? It's terrible, bro. Edwin, man, you hit me, man. What was your thoughts on today, man? How you feeling, man? Is top 4 truly over? Actually, let me rephrase that. Is European football truly over? Like, can you see us winning another game? Like, we've got Palace, we've got Brighton, we've got Chelsea's obviously next on Thursday. Like, can you see us like picking up any points?
It's no surprise, like if you just watch the team. But to be honest, looking at how everything's set, I don't even want Man United to win, get Champions League or Europe. To be honest, if I'm being honest here, I want them to start. If they really want to do this rebuilding stuff, they have to start from the ground. You know what I mean? And I feel like giving someone like Ten Hag like Europe or Champions League is going to be added pressure. You're in, especially Europa League. You're in Europa League, you got to win it. And it takes too many games. Look how many games they play during the week. Like, I think he just needs to focus on the domestic, the league, like the FA Cup and like Carling Cup, and just build from there. I feel like we need time out before we need time in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I don't want us, like, as a fan in the long run, I don't want this. It'll be nice for us to do it, but you don't want to take a rebuilding team into Europe. Because then we'll get, like, if we're getting beaten like this, what's going to happen when we go to Europe? So, but in regards to the game, it was just poor. Like, when you're just watching the way Man United transition, there's no urgency, there's no movement. Everyone, like, you see the player has the ball, and everyone's just standing there. There's no movement. There's no movement of the ball. There's no urgency. They play like it's like the 88th minute and they're 3-0 up already. They're just chilling, like, you know what I mean?
It's like they're all waiting for the other person to make that run, It's like they all just stand there and expect the person on the ball to create magic, as if they.
But then it puts down to like what's going on in the training, because it's like anything, isn't it? Any sport you do, right? The people that become great are the people that are able to transition what they do in training into the actual art. You know what I mean? Same with boxing, same with football, everything. Whatever they're doing in training is not transitioning, or they're not doing at all, because it's like you get the ball, they pass it around, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Very slow. Like, just like nonchalant. I don't know. It was just a poor performance overall. Like there was no one that really stood out. But before anything, my condolences to Ronaldo and his family. I was surprised to see him play. I hope that he took some more time out, but maybe the football was helping him. But he tried today, you know. And I feel like one of his failures this season is that, remember, I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the season, I had a conversation with you and I said, for Ronaldo to do well, he needs to be playing around good players and people that make chances. It's not the same Ronaldo that can run through players. He just needs the chances. And I know a lot of people have been on him, but for what he's had, he's scored quite a good amount of goals, but the players are not helping him around it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no chances. Like, today, the centre midfielder, I even forgot McTominay was playing. Like, he played poor. Matic is just like, his legs are gone. Like, he's, our fullbacks, like, Tellers he was like a cheap alternative. He's not good. Dalot is not good. As much as I'll be like saying stuff about Maguire, even on that point, like, you know, football is football. Like, all the extra stuff that's going on outside is not needed. Like, he's a footballer. All these like threats and that. So I hope he's doing all right as well. But it's like, even with him at the team, it's like, we can't, as fans, we can't be like, oh, Maguire played. Like, he didn't play. Like, we had Varane there, and we had Lindelof, who's like supposed to be the solid version, and we had a World Cup, and they both played poor. Like, look at the first goal. They, like, you remember they missed, like, then they all missed their ball. Like, yeah. So it's like, fundamentally, all areas are poor. Even the players that we deem to be world class are playing bad. Bruno, Varane. You know what I mean?
What I've noticed about each game that goes by, and I think NK will vouch to this because I know that he was even calling out offline Varane, is that we have a number of people in this club. Everyone's playing poorly, don't get me wrong, but we have a number of people in this club that get the stick more than others, right? Because they've been performing badly, but it's just more, I don't even know. It just happens to be Maguire. It just happens to be Marcus Rashford. Do you know what is that? Do you know what it is? Do you know why I tell you why? It's because of their position. Because you've got to think, Maguire's the captain and he costs 80 million, right? Then you've got to think about Rashford. Everyone's out there. Rashford, potentially should have been further than he should be right now. But then people are like, is his mind really on football? Because, you know, he's done great things outside for the community in regards to the free school meal. So I think the sticks on them is because it's like, Maguire's costing is like, where's Rashford's head really at? But when you really look at it, like, people like Bruno and that, they get a little bit of a pass. Like, and it's the whole, what's the word? Basically, it's just the culture of Man United. Like, they reward people that don't deserve to be rewarded. Bruno should not have got another contract at that point. It's not that, like, they were so eager to give him a contract to that point, but it's like, if it was the season before when he was scoring, then I understand, but it's like, we reward players that don't do well. You know what I mean? Like, even but wasn't his contract renewal overdue though? It was overdue, but then you got to look at the long game. It's like, you're going to give this guy a long-term contract. He's not going to leave. You're going to give him a type of contract where you have to play him. Like, there needs to be a different culture. You got to look at holistically the whole thing, right? Even with Pogba, like, people are getting onto Pogba, but let's be honest, like, if you're a Man United player, do you really want to stay in the squad right now? He said he's gone. He said he's gone now. Apparently, he's leaving. But you know what? Good luck to him. Like, I'm not surprised for him to want to go. You look at the team and it's like, okay, do you want to be in a rebuilding team? At his age.
Go back? Yeah, like, I want to win trophies. You know, I've been deemed of not hitting my potential, but he knows what the fans are booing me. Why stay? You know, I think.
Okay, on what Edwin's saying about, like, the players like Bruno, etc., and I obviously we've named some like Maguire and stuff. What's your thoughts on it as well? Because I feel like, and I've heard you say this before, like offline, like as well. Like, it doesn't matter who we play. Like, it doesn't matter who we play. Today there was no Maguire. Today he would have definitely, his name would have been called today. Do you know what I mean? He didn't play today. I would have blamed him. And then there's a lot of stick now landing on maybe our fullbacks or Bruno Fernandes. What's your thoughts on this situation?
I always say this before you always point the blame at players. You always have to look at the managers first, you know. I know there's a lot of people that have gone on to say, oh yeah, these players have thrown like what do you call it? The managers underneath the bus and everything, and that's rightfully so. If you look at sometimes their their commitment and their intensity, on the pitch too. Edwin said it earlier on, like whatever they are doing on training, whether they're not showing it on the pitch. But I disagree. I feel like they are showing exactly what they do on the training pitch. You know, this is a team. You look at their movement and like on the ball, off the ball. You can just tell that basically this is what they do week in, week out there. They don't work on the most important stuff. The best teams, you look at Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. No matter who comes in the team or goes out of the team, that team play the same. Yes, you're gonna see individual mistakes like what Varane done today, which is like an individual mistake. You're gonna see it in like players who comes into a team that don't have the most biggest kind of like quality. That's what you kind of like see. You see quality kind of like drop, but the ideas is always the same. And with United, it's never that. You know, different players come into it, and then you still get the same kind of like goals that we conceded and everything. Today, yes, the first goal was a mistake by Varane. You know, it's one of those things that it can happen. Sometimes defenders kind of like make mistakes. But you look at even the second goal that led to the penalty. All game. As a full, like we know, and this is a very common thing in the Premiership. Wingers are never supposed to get one-on-one with fullbacks. It's just never supposed to happen. Every single time, what happens is that your wingers need to come and cover, make it hard for the wingers to literally beat that. You leave any player one-on-one, these defenders are always going to lose out, no matter what you play, because attacking players are quick, they are tricky, and they are always going to win a one-on-one battle. That's why, as a defensive unit, they need protection. Against Liverpool, Mohamed Salah came out. He said, why do you enjoy scoring so much goals against Man United? He said, because they allow us a lot of one-on-ones, you know, and it's not the first time that players have said this. Today, as I said to you, today, Arsenal fullbacks were very crap. They were as bad as our fullback was, but anytime Sancho had a ball, there was like about 3-4 months on him. He had to literally try and beat like 3-4 guys. Same thing with Rashford. When Rashford comes to the team, anytime he's in the team, he had to beat 3 or 4 guys before he's in a danger position. But today, Arsenal, Saka, how many one-on-ones did he have with Telles today? A lot of one-on-ones. You know, they were enjoying themselves one-on-one, you know? And that, to me, it comes down to coaching to just say, hey, you know what? When we don't have the ball, everybody needs to regroup. Look at the shot that Fingis scored for the 10th goal, that long-range shot. Against Wolves, corner kick. We consider the same type of like shot where it comes down and players are not closing down. Most of our goals, if you go sit down and you look at the whole season and the goals that we have conceded, they are all identical goals. And when the goals are identical goals, you cannot pick individual. You have to pick about what are they doing on the training pitch that's just doing that, you know, and that's why it comes down to for me.
And I agree. I think it's true. I feel like that point that you said with one-on-ones being made, Saka was having so many one-on-one opportunities here with Telles. I was just thinking, like, what's going on? Even when Arsenal's attacking us, right? And this goes with many other teams as well. They're always managing to get guys in our box, do you know what I mean? They're always managing to get, like, man-on-man, like, one-on-one situations, or even outnumber our defenders at times. You look at us now, we're struggling to get more than Ronaldo in the box. It's always like, you might get a Langer that cuts in from the wing. Our transitional play, when we rob the ball off Tavares, rob the ball off these mans, we're trying to do a quick transition, rotate that, recycle that ball, go on the counter-attack. Bro, you've got Sancho running on the wing, and this is not just against Arsenal, even against Liverpool in the second half. We're running on that wing, there's no one else to support. 2-3 man go on, crowd out Sancho, and then you've lost that position. Or their man recoup, get more bodies in the box, and then all of a sudden the opportunity is wasted. Fam, we're not like, the urgency is flat. It's so flat. And these men ain't running to burst into the box. You've got Scott McTominay, he's got the physicalness, if anything, right? He ain't got the skills, he ain't got the pass, whatever, but he's got the physicality, he's got the stuff to go up and down that pitch. It's not breaking his neck yet. When we've just gotten the ball in their first half, we've stolen the ball in their first half. Scott McTominay should be bursting down that middle to get into that box to support that attacking play when Sancho's on the ball. I didn't see Bruno running into that box either. You've just got one guy, Langa, and Ronaldo. Like it's just not enough. Usually it's just Ronaldo getting crowded up. The play always breaks down. We do this time and time again. Our off the ball movement is dead. You see guys standing on the ball, holding up the ball, looking who to pass to. There's no one making a run like quickly enough. You almost got to wait. Like it's almost got to come to a standstill before someone thinks, oh shit, like okay, let me run. Excuse my French. Oh wait. Oh, let me run. Bro, as soon as my man's on the ball, guys should be on their back. I remember, when Bruno, had the ball when he, earlier days of his relationship with Ronaldo in the season. He got on that ball, Ronaldo will be on his back. And he'll try and find
that was the relationship he's been with Ronaldo. You look at even Bruno most of the time, when he get the ball, he's pointing to people what space to go into. If you do this thing on the training ground where you drill it week in and week out, you just know. It's like Liverpool. When Trent get the ball, them ones are making a run to the box because they know exactly where the ball is coming to. But when Bruno get the ball, it's like these guys don't know where the ball is coming to, And that's something when you do on training, that's where you train it, you drill it week in and week out, drill it week in and week out, defensive position and attacking position, so that when they get on the pitch, they can anticipate what's going to happen because that's what they train on week in and week out. And that's why normally the question goes into it, like, what did they do on the training ground? United is a place where, as a player, when you are on a bad form, you look terrible because there's not a system to protect these guys, When you are on form, you look like the best player. But when you go out of form, you are the worst players. Kevin De Bruyne, for example, he hasn't been the best player, but the system carries him, Whereas he doesn't have to do it. Look at Mohamed Salah. He has, since the African nation, he's been very terrible on form, but the system carries him. Whereas even if he's not doing that, people are not pointing it out because other people are doing like the other ones to kind of like carry him. But this is not United. When you are on bad form,
Everyone's bad.
It highlights it. It's like someone wearing glasses that the lens is just so clear. You can just see everything. And that's why I say this is where, to me, the problem always have to go down to coaching. Since Ralph came inside, the coaching aspect of it hasn't improved. He talked about before he came to the club, he used to talk about, you either full pressing or not pressing, you either pregnant or not half pregnant. That was the way he used to talk. Today, I saw a team trying to, in his own words, half press. We commit players high up the pitch to try and stop Arsenal getting the ball. But when we get there, they're not aggressive enough. So it's like they go high up the pitch to go defense spaces, But then when you do that, it's just very simple. One little ball, and then you take four players out of it. So that's what I said. If you're going to ask these players to press high up the pitch, then tell them to be aggressive in your face. Whereas they just do that. Even if they miss the ball, they're more likely to kind of like bring the guy down. Something. But they just go there, and then they're standing there too. And then, understanding your team too. Guys like Matic don't have the legs. Why are you asking him to press high up the pitch? He ain't getting back. And if he doesn't go tight, he's not doing that. McTominay, he's not strong. That's why, when Fred plays, Fred is normally the guy who is no more high up the pitch because he can run. When McTominay plays like that, don't ask him to press high up the pitch because he doesn't have the legs to come back. And as I said, as a manager, you need to understand your team and come up with a system to fit them. Don't go try to do what you think you know how to do, especially when these guys are not buying into it. So that's what I'm going to leave it at in terms of like the coaching aspect of it.
Look, Edwin, what do you think of the situation with Bruno Fernandes and the penalty, man? Because usually Ronaldo will be that main guy taking a penalty. I see some tweets of someone that tweeted in a live space. I was in, someone said, if this was Real Madrid and someone tried to take the ball off Ronaldo to take the penalty, that Ramos would have knocked his teeth in, bro. Like, it's Ronaldo's to take the penalty. But Bruno Fernandes obviously took the penalty and there was no qualms. Do you know what? In all honesty, I looked at Bruno Fernandes, I was already nervous. It was a different type of nervous. I thought we weren't going to score that penalty. And I wasn't surprised that Bruno Fernandes missed. But what was your thoughts on the reasoning why Ronaldo maybe have left it to Bruno Fernandes?
I think it's been like that for a while. Do you remember that time when they had that thing earlier in the season where Ronaldo took a penalty instead of Bruno and he missed? And I think from then Bruno's just been taking it.
I remember that.
But then Bruno missed too after that. Bruno missed too,
but you remember, I think Ronaldo kind of stepped back from taking the penalties. Like before he would be more aggressive with it, but I feel like he stepped back. So I'm not surprised that Bruno took it, but I just feel like it just doesn't. For me, it's like if he scored already, just let him take it. You know what I mean? Like you're not having a good game. So why? Like there's no even the way he ran up, he scuffed the shot.
Yeah, he done a bit too much.
Ronaldo should take it, but then you also got to remember where Ronaldo is at right now. He probably doesn't have time to be arguing or just even like, okay, you want to take the penalty, take it. Like, he's probably just, you know what I mean? He's just there to play football, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just don't think he should have taken it. Like,
I think you know what? I think
he needs to get rid of that technique. It's just annoying now. Like it was fun before, but it was cool.
It was a good penalty. He just literally missed that kind of like angle. He always wait for the goalkeeper to commit it before he goes. He just to do too much.
When you watch it again, he scuffed the shot. He didn't even connect. Like if you really see, he scuffed it. That's why he hit that.
That's what I'm saying. Normally that technique here, he waits for the player the goalkeeper to commit, and then he just literally just slide it just slowly in there. But I don't know what's going on with him too. But with Ronaldo not taking a penalty, and I feel like this is how sometimes as fans here, and even the media too, like sometimes they feel like what they do here does not impact like the teams and the players, but it does. We've been for all season, the narrative have always been like, oh, Ronaldo is a problem, Ronaldo is a problem, Ronaldo is a problem. So it's probably kind of like got to him in a way where he say, you know what, I'm gonna sit back.
Let me just step back.
Yeah. I'm gonna step back because I don't want to be on camera trying to fight with Bruno, trying to get a penalty to take it before people gonna take like, oh, you know what, if I take him, they're gonna say, oh, you know what, I'm the problem. Or if Bruno go take it whilst I'm wrestling with him, they're gonna say, oh, you know what you done impacted him from that. So I feel like he's kind of like taking that kind of like step back to say, you know what, they say I'm a problem. I'm gonna show that I'm not a problem. I'm just gonna leave these guys just do what naturally they do and let everything kind of like unfold by itself too. But in doing that too, the people that are suffering is Manchester United Football Club. It's not the media that's making this news up. It's not the fans or the people that are just talking about. It's the club as a whole that's just doing that. And this is where I say too, managers come inside too, like you saw this thing up. You take control and say, look, when we have a penalty, this person is taking it and I don't care what comes out too.
Yeah. That
team need a leader. And normally the leadership start from the manager and then it goes down. Right now, we don't have any, and that's all it is.
That leads nicely onto my next point, Enki, because again on Twitter, I saw a comment from Scholes, right, and he was quoted to say, you know what, he wouldn't mind if Lingard, he's sure that Lingard wouldn't mind him saying this, but he had a word with Lingard, and Lingard said that, I'm paraphrasing here, but something about our dressing room being a disaster, like it's a total mess. And obviously, this is no surprise to us because we already know that, you know, it's bad, it's broken, it's divided, and there's cliques. Now, you probably got like Ronaldo, Elanga, Bruno Fernandes, Diego, Dalot, the Portuguese man, them tellers. And then on the other side, you probably got like Rashford, Lingard, you know, Sancho's and all of those ones there. Maguire, I'm not sure what side of the fence he sits on. And I think my issue here, and like I'm saying, like what we're seeing on the pitch is just half the story. Because obviously what's happening off the pitch is a madness. When Man United was thriving, doing well, yeah, there's disputes, there's arguments and things. That's natural, that happens on the pitch, even off the pitch. But you resolve those issues and you move on. You've all got the same common goal, do you know what I mean? Right now it feels like it's a long-standing issue. It feels like that. I don't obviously know any facts. This is all just assumptions, but it just feels like there's no harmony in the dressing room. It just feels like there's no togetherness. And when we're getting these bad results, I don't think it would help to with that bond or that union or that good aura being created, right? But my biggest worry about this situation is the fact that we've brought in, you know, before we'll say, oh, we've got no leaders. Enke said, you know, we ain't got no leaders and stuff. Bro, we've just brought in Rafael Varane. I know he's been injured quite a lot of the time, yeah? But it doesn't take away what he can be doing and the influence he could be having behind the scenes. Do you understand? We've brought him in, Mr. Champions League. We've brought in Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest of all time. Fam, why are we still here?
But you know why? So to cut you off, they haven't allowed them to become leaders. Think about it, right?
This is what's scary though, Edwin, because we shouldn't be hearing about cliques. We should just be hearing one clique. Like if Ronaldo the GOAT's come into the dressing room, bro, I'm just like, you know what?
I'm gonna tell you.
How may I help you? Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you my thinking about it, because those guys, they came from a dressing room that was full of winners. Where every
That's a
time
fact.
you go inside, every time they go into games, the mentality was that we win. And when we don't win, you come inside it, people hold accountability, they shout at each other, but then they deal with it and then they accepted that the next time when they go, they're going to correct their mistakes too. And normally, managers always kind of like, when you go to the dressing room after the game, players shout, and the managers normally kind of like take control. They came into a club where, one, the manager did not have control over the dressing room. The only way that only had a control of the dressing room was making sure that things was relaxed, because he couldn't be aggressive, because he didn't have like the guys to kind of like demand winning mentality. He just didn't have that. And you can tell that from the captain, Maguire too. Maguire is not a guy that after a game he's gonna be going out there to say, hey, you know what, we should have won it. I saw it even from the time where there was that game where we played Brighton and that Bruno scored that late goal where it was a penalty, the game finished and they had to do that. I remember the game kind of like when Brighton equalized it, you can just tell from Maguire, he just didn't look like a guy that was believing to say, hey, you know what, let's go on. He looked kind of like shattered too, and I feel like that's what Oli too was a manager. Him and Maguire fitted because they were not a demanding kind of like leaders, you know. Oli wasn't demanding as in like he come to the dressing room and say, hey, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? This is bad. Like, you know, he didn't know how to. He didn't know the right time to shout and the right time not to shout. You had guys like Ronaldo inside where to them, it's always about winning. Even when the odds are against you, you have to win. You have to believe you can win. And when you don't win and they come to the dressing room like that, they are angry. You know, they are very frustrated to say, why so and so kind of like happened. And I feel like that's when the division came on. Ronaldo came on, he tried to do that, and then he just realized that, you know what, these people are not like that, you know, because if I go in with my tone and I'm saying that, guys like Maguire, I don't know if you watch what they call it, the all or nothing kind of like a thing about the Tottenham. You see even Harry Kane talking in the dressing room, all they talk about is that they don't really give the motivational speech. It's always about swearing and come on guys, you know. That's what they do. And the way Maguire has been playing, Maguire, you see a dressing room full of like Ronaldo and Rafael Varane, who in most games, they are always going to perform. Ronaldo is always going to do his job, which is like scoring goals, you know. Varane too is always going to do his job, which is like normally defending one-on-one. And you as a captain, if you make a mistake, when you go in the dressing room straight away, you cannot talk. You lose your authority to talk and blame other people, you know, or even blame the team as a whole, because you are the first person to make a mistake, so you cannot do that. So then the leadership goes to, it's always the guys that don't do the most mistake. They are the one who have the big authority to talk. So when Ronaldo come in and they just kind of like take that, well, people are going to go towards him naturally. You know, he's going to have your Brunos, your Ilanges, your Sanchos. Everybody's going to go there because he is the only one this season that is doing his job of scoring goals. Maguire is not doing that. You know, Varane too, in and out. I feel like he's a very shy guy that it takes his time to do that. The manager wasn't doing that because he wasn't getting results. And the whole thing kind of like crumbled. Ronaldo went there, he was too aggressive. Maguire couldn't stand that because he felt like not only was his bad performance getting highlighted too, but his leadership too was being undermined because he couldn't go into the dressing room to do that. Back in the day, he could do that because nobody could literally come and stand up to him like that, because when the team was playing bad, if Rashford played good, you think Rashford can go there and tell Maguire off? No, he cannot. So I feel like that's what the whole thing is. That's when you hear the thing about, oh, you know what, the standard of this club has gone down from guys like Ronaldo. That's what it means, because when the team lose, these players are not angry enough. There's not a lot of accountability enough. And the leaders that we think they are leaders, they are the first people to make mistakes anyway. So, I mean, because of that, they kind of been shut on the team. So everybody just relax. And that's what it is.
What is evident to see is that we clear out is needed. What are you going to say, Edwin?
I was going to say, it's true what NK said. There's too many yes men in the team. Like, as soon as someone, like NK said, as soon as someone goes against the grain or speaks their mind, they're a problem. Remember at the beginning, they were like, Ronaldo's, there's issues in the changing room with Maguire. Nah, he probably just told the team, like, you got to fix up. Maguire, you got to fix up. And everyone's too emotional in that team. Like, everyone's babied in the Man United team right now. And like Ronaldo, like NK said, I bet Ronaldo went there, looked around saying, wow, this is not the team, it's not the Man United I was around. It's not the team Ferguson, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's just like too soft. Like, you say one thing, everyone's getting like, you know what I mean? Like,
wow. Imagine Ronaldo telling Harry Maguire to, what do you call it, to fix up, and you are the club captain, and if someone call you out like that, how do you go and turn around to say like, look, we play Barca as a team, and we need to do that? Where someone literally go and call you to fix up, you know. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I've tried to tune out, but it's very difficult as a supporter to tune out and check out. And especially in a game like this, a piece of me just wanted to be like, you know what, let me just get this small bit of joy. Let me be able to jump online and just banter off the guys. But I can't even do that. And it's just going from bad to worse. Look, we've sat here, we've debated now, and obviously the show's come to an end. But do you know what? Guys, just to finish off, what's your predictions, man, against Chelsea Thursday, next game?
Honestly, I'm gonna say, you know, if it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't be watching these games. I wouldn't be watching this game. I woke up at 7:30 a.m. this morning. I should have been cuddling my wife. I woke up just to watch this game, but man, for what, man? Could have learned all this thing on the score up, man. Look, I don't see how we win one game. I just don't see how we win one game from the look. Chelsea look like a good team. They probably beat us too. Brighton, I've always been scared of them anyways too. I don't even know who else we're gonna play. Everton,
Brentford, Pilot. I think
this season needs to end, bro. This season needs to end. Me, I think personally, if they can do us any favor from next season, I feel like they need to send certain players on holiday so that they can just go have a long rest, because some of them don't have that. Bruno look like he's bent out. Send him on holiday, because Oli played him all the time. I feel like he's literally bent out. It's a bit like Ronaldo. You know, when Ronaldo played too many games, he just started to look so bad. Since he been having like playing one game a week here, he looks so fresh. He's scoring a game again. I think certain players just need to go on a break, relax a bit, and then report to preseason early so that we can build from the new manager above man. But it's just pointless them being on the pitch right now, because we're not winning games. They're not making no effort. There's no joy. Just send all of them to the break. Let the youth team that's going to play in the FA Youth Cup, let them use these games as preparation for their FA Youth Cup finals, bro, man. That's all it is. Or let the women's team come and play.
Well, Edwin, what's your match predictions for Chelsea?
2022-2023 season. 10 this season's done for me. Like, I'm just waiting for the 2022-2023 season. I'm just waiting for preseason.
Bro, if it was FM, we skip it, bro, to the transfer window, bro. If
bro.
FM,
I'll just skip. You know what I'll do? You know, like, if this is FM, I'll play every game on very fast, only commentary. So it's fast.
Bro, set you up, bro. But I'll put you on holiday, you know. I'll put you on holiday, bro, man. So at this point, that's the only way we can win games, bro. Give someone in charge, bro.
Oh, guys.
What's your prediction?
Bro, I think we're getting.
I think going forward, yeah, let's do OT after every 2 games. Because we can't do it after every game, bro. Let's just trouble all the pace in one, man. Let's just do all of that in one. So we play Thursday. Let's skip Thursday and do it all together on the Sunday.
Man said 2 for 1. Buy one, get one free.
2 for 1, bro. So that the pace 2 for 1, bro.
Oh
2 for 1.
my gosh. Look, Man United is getting smoked 2-3-0. Easy. We're getting smoked 2-3-0. It's going to be light work for Chelsea. They're going to get their pick up.
And two early goals in both games, you know.
Facts. In both games, 2 early games, Man United.
And the funny thing is, both games, yeah, I've missed the first goal because let me go get a drink. It's just the early stages of comeback here. It's like
Mike Tyson. It's like Mike Tyson's fights. You know them back in the days.
Back in the day.
Good boxing match today, actually. Good boxing match today.
That's all I got to look forward to, bruv. That's all I've got to look forward to, bruv. Come on. That's all I got to look forward to. Bro, guys, we're out, man. Time's done, bro. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Support the thing. Peace.
Right. You know what I was gonna say though?